Welcome guys to the first episode. They were immediately dropping in. We're gonna start with a couple of African explorers was from a kingdom called Hokapaki. Not a real kingdom, it's fictional. Imagine if it was a real thing. That would be crazy. But yeah, a group of Hokapaki explorers was land here on Tannian soil. Now, the continent, now this was made, this little settlement was discovered by Tanjiko, by a man, not Tanjiko, but a man named Banjiko. He would have a very royal bloodline. And he had just discovered it. So he named the continent Banjiko, and his country, the first Banjiko dynasty. And as you can see, they have barely even scratched the surface of this continent. So we're gonna push forward, they're gonna keep moving. But they also are getting back trade as they move boats. So they're going to Africa, which I'm not going in Africa because, okay, I'm not going any other continents. But Africa is kind of just like right here, okay? It's right here near the voice. So they keep going between there and there. But it's a long journey, and it's a lot of money. So one day, they just don't come. And the people are very confused. Like, what? I'm zooming in way too much. But yeah, people very confused. Very, very confused. Why are we not talking to our homeland? And that's because the king of this person, Banjiko, was kind of forced to not talk to them. And you're wondering why? Well, a group of people don't like the homeland country, and they specifically said to the leader of this country that if you keep going back and forth between them, we're gonna get into an economic collapse. We're gonna enter a famine. And Manjigo definitely did not listen. He kept talking, and he ordered those people to be executed. Not executed, but politically. Yeah, executed. Yeah, executed. So this is their country so far. They are not even close to the nearest lake at all. There is a lot of lakes, which are very rich in resources, and this is the baby sea. Yes, it's really called the baby sea. You'll figure out why later on. But the Hokopaki and Bajiko, the first Bajiko dynasty, just have a ton of trade until something happens to the Hokopaki. A mass famine, which affects these guys because they don't have a lot of fertile farmland. Because this is literally just sandy beaches, and the rest over here is just jungle. It's literally just jungle. And then if you keep going more south, it's going to get really cold. So yeah, really interesting geography standpoint. Right here is basically where it starts to get cold. Like right from the bottom tip of the BC, what do we call it, baby C, all the way to the most southern tip. I think it's right here. No. It's right here. To the most southern tip. That's how cold it is. That's when it gets cold. That's extremely cold. That's at least like around 36 inches of annual snowfall. That's a lot of snow. I think my thing is okay. Yeah. Due to the mass famine, these guys' economy collapses like those two people that came out to the Benchico and said, yeah, there's gonna be a mass famine and your economy is going to collapse. People riot all across the countries, both nations. This is still a colony, by the way. This is just the colony's capital city. They're a colony of the Hokopaki. And these guys say, yo, can we gain independence? And Hokopaki is like, no, you can't. But they do anyway, which angers the Hokopaki. The Hokopaki arrives on the shores of the capital city, and immediately they start their siege. They immediately go around and start encircling the capital city. Hold up, there you go. Yeah, they encircle the capital city and start pushing. The thing is, they were not ready for the citizens of this nation. These citizens came at them like a horde of World War Z zombies carrying carrying spears. Yeah! Just running at them. And a massacre happened. It was called the Javelin Massacre. It's called the Javelin Massacre. Where around 1,000 Hokopaki soldiers were killed killed by a group of 20,000 people carrying little spears. Just cha cha cha, and then in the back there were arrows just being thrown at them. So yeah, and then behind that, after the Hokapaki broke the two lines, they were chased down by a group of 50,000 people carrying javelins, just chasing them. Yeah, pretty crazy. And they kept chasing them until they blew up all their ships, so the Hokapaki couldn't get back. Not blew up, but sank all their ships. That's what I mean. Which not good for the Hokopaki. And the Hokopaki come back. The king of the Hokopaki comes back and says, "Fine, you can be independent." And they celebrate. Yay! 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 They definitely celebrate. And after that, they start working on themselves. Very working on themselves, including expanding their borders. They don't just want to be this small. I mean, you look like you're following a river, so they can expand. And a little bit more. Going on over here. Here, and going over here. And yeah. Everything's going alright. Until they decide to make a puppet state. And this puppet state is right here. You may be wondering, what is this puppet state for? Well, this puppet state is actually a colony. Not colony, but listen. This puppet state encircles a whole entire waterfall that is rich in resources and farmland. So that's very good. And everybody who lives on the coast is any black person that lives there is forced into slavery. Yeah, this country's not that good. And then the name of this country was changed to the Third Benjico Dynasty after they made this puppet state. They keep expanding. Oh, they keep expanding. Hold up. Yeah, they keep expanding their borders. Talking to the leader of this puppet state. They're very big. They're a very big country at this point. They're basically an empire. I mean, they were the first civilization on the continent of soon to be called Tannian. Right now it's called Benjico. But something happens. A black woman that was forced into sex slavery industry here this country, decides to start on a which the slave owners called the Benjika raids. She was Benjiko the Fourth. Yeah, she was a part of the royal descendants. The slave owners called her Benjika because they did not think that she, as a sex slave, should have been able to keep such a royal name. So yeah, she started a 15-long period of wait. And once she was going up here, to get some food for her family, she was captured and tortured slowly to death. It was 18 hours of torture until she finally died. Her brother, Benjiko the Fourth, started causing the raids to turn into something more serious. Yes, a revolution. And he thought that instead of being just a colony, that they should be something else. So they declare independence. And the brother starts fighting. And starts killing tons of slave owners. Just tons of slave owners. The people in the north did not actually have slavery. There were only a few slaves in the north, but they respected the south. And hearing that slaves were trying to make a country, they didn't really like how that sounded. So they joined the military and started coming down over. But there's a thing. There is something. The jungle. Jungle makes it very hot, which causes guerrilla warfare. And there are some outposts for these guys. Yeah, that's right. They make some outposts along here, inside of the jungle. And this would soon become a signature, a symbol of their flag. But they keep pushing and pushing downwards. But Benjiko the Fourth then has a son. And that son actually was captured by Benjiko's old slave owners and was forced into slavery. Benjiko the Fourth's son. So he decides to go on a long journey with his own militia and keep fighting until he finds his son. He finds his son, Benjiko the Fifth. Is stuck. Literally stuck inside of a burning house. So he sees his son and he says, you know what, these guys suck. But something happens. The military was able to get through. So finally, even though they were tired, they started making major advances on these guys' rebellion. And started encircling the waterfall. But these guys had a trick up their sleeve. That is to keep moving. And start encircling the troops. The troops had to retreat due to too much pressure from all these sides. They had to retreat, and they definitely did retreat. These guys crossed the waterfall. Benjiko the Fourth and Benjiko the Fifth. Benjiko the Fourth and his son crossed the waterfall and pushed them back and back and back and back using guerrilla warfare. These guys were not used to that. They weren't used to it at all. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. I was just checking to see if my mic was working. My mic was on. But yeah, a huge chunk of these guys' country was under attack by a bunch of slaves. They did not like that people that the slaves in the South were rebelling. And they tried to keep fighting trench warfare, guerrilla warfare. They tried everything, but it didn't work. And these little outposts became a major factor of this war. They were holding a main line down. If you got, wait, I want to know. Can someone make a flag? That flag? I think it'd be very cool. I think, yeah. Can someone make their flag? I think that'd be very cool. And I'd subscribe. I definitely subscribe. I'd subscribe to you. Alright, and then I can just like, I don't know. But I'm gonna give you a shout out, and I'm gonna subscribe. Whoever does that, I'm gonna subscribe. I'm gonna like and probably comment. But yeah, these little outposts of guerrilla warfare became extremely important, and they finally started pushing back and using guerrilla warfare. And after this, these guys got encircled. This was a huge mass amount of troops, which when captured, they were sent back over. And they had tons of wounds and scars. They left the military for good, which was a major blow to this country's military morale. A new leader came in though, named Tanjiko, and he called the country the first Tanjiko dynasty. And he called the continent Tanjiko. Don't worry about how these are the videos. I like that. But anyway, Tanjiko was actually a pretty good military man. Not saying he was a good dude, but he was pretty good at war, since he had fought in the Revolutionary War of Tanjiko. So, yeah, he changed the name too. He changed everything. And he was actually doing pretty good fighting against the rebellion. And that lasted around 7 years, still fighting the rebellion and doing pretty well until the rebellion had another trick up their sleeve. After capturing this little area, they decided to send diplomats over. This was playing into the mind of the civilians. And they went over like, yo, can we get peace? And the king of Tanjiko said no. The civilians were already tired of the war, and getting news that their king had just said no to ending a little civil war, that caused more riots, and these riots were deadlier than the riots in the beginning of this country's history. Way more deadly. Hundreds of people died, which weakened the country's state and caused these guys to push even further back. And further and further and further and further. So, these guys decided to call themselves the Bavi. The Bavi. The Bavi. Not the Bavi. Not the Bavi. The Bavi. The Bavi. Bari. You could also make a flag for these guys. That'd be very cool. Like, make flags for these guys. But yeah. These guys had finally also found an area for the capital. So they actually finally got a capital. And after a while of fighting, and one area left. One area. Well, these guys. That was this country. This country did not last very long in the Civil War. They didn't have much support they got some support by these guys, but not a lot, which kind of meant they weren't gonna last very long. And also, this was another group of slaves started by a woman named Harold, Chica Harold. Very cool name, right? Very, such a good name. Such a creative name. But yeah, Chica Harold was not a good person at all. She owned slaves herself, and then causing her slaves to rise up and help her make a country. Yeah, I don't think that was gonna work too well. But yeah, after a while of diplomats and conferences, they finally decided to end the Civil War. Already, 2 wars on this continent. Oh man, that is crazy. The war was finally over. Finally. These guys wanted to expand. They said, all of you guys are free. Let's just expand a little. Oh, let's just expand. Let's just really expand. So yeah, they start expanding. These guys, they immediately start expanding, which is very supported by the people. And many people come with them on their journey, and they expand and expand and expand. They keep expanding and keep expanding and keep expanding and keep expanding. They're pretty chill. They also expand over here, going over here. And guess what? They keep going. And they keep going, and they keep going. They meet up with the lake. They call it Lake Howard. Now, Howard Lake was also very rich in resources, but guess what? They did not have slaves. They actually started making people work. And if you worked here and mined for materials, you would actually get paid around $100. I'm only using U.S. currency, but it would be actually 100 golden beans. Yeah, golden beans. You wanna know why it's called that? I don't know. Yeah, you'll get paid 100 golden beans, and 100 golden beans in U.S. currency is around $50 US. So yeah, if you actually use the golden beans like currency today, it'd be very cool. These guys were very big. They got very big in their first 15 years of existence. And they had a very strong army. Very strong. The reason they were able to get this big is because this area right here is like plains and is very farmland. There's a ton of farmland and farming like in the central region. Southern region is like tons of mining and minerals, and that's where in the south, that's where you walk. Here, that's the kind of way you work if you're a farmer. In the north, you're basically rich. So they kind of have a hierarchy. Rich in the north, farmers in the central region, and workers in the south. Which is actually pretty common throughout Tannian history because of these guys' very important cultural impact on the world. These guys, though, did not learn from their past mistakes. They still had slaves, but they treated them way more nicer now. Instead of having any more sex slaves, they just had slaves, and they paid the slaves 1 cotton, which 1 cotton equals a penny in U.S. currency, and also, so 1 cotton would only get you like a small slice of bread in that country. So, yeah. But they keep expanding. They definitely do keep expanding. Expanding. After expanding for a little bit in the south, they decide to start expanding in the north, while trying to find things to work for. Since everybody here was kind of tired. I mean, after the war, they did not want another war. They definitely did not want another war, and I think the country knew that. The country definitely knew that. They knew it. They definitely knew it. Also, thank you guys for 6 subscribers. I've only posted like one community post since I have 6 subscribers. But thank y'all for coming and subscribing to this second channel. And but yeah, 2 countries. This country was Tanjiko, and this country was the Bari. Bari decided to send some groups of explorers out. They wanted to explore. But, yeah, it didn't work out. These guys went a little bit too far. They landed, they stopped here. And, they were lost. They were so lost. So first, they were a part of any country. Hold up, I think I messed up. Let me okay. So yeah, first they weren't really their own country. They still thought they were like that, part of their home country. But then they started to realize they lost. They are lost. They are actually lost. So they decided to like just gain independence. I mean, there's nothing really else to do. So yeah, they gained independence. These guys do not know a single thing about these guys. But they are kind of worried about the explorers. They're like, what happened? And then they start making up the first, like, kind of creepy bosses. I mean, they were already creepy bosses, but like, creepy pasta. That the explorers were off. It was a nice journey till a huge hurricane hit. Because it was actually storming in the country. They had faced hurricanes before, especially during the Civil War, which was only a Category 1. And these guys had actually get hit with Category 4, which caused the massive famine and ended their revolution. But they thought a hurricane had hit them, and they were sent off course, and they found a mysterious land, a dark forest perhaps, and that dark forest, whoever entered it, their souls would be sold to the devil. Yeah, pretty intense, man. Yeah, these guys just they didn't even do anything. They just wanted to be independent. Yeah, they definitely got independence, and they kind of were just a small country. They didn't really want to be too big. They knew like you had to be big to survive, but they were all right. They were all right. I mean, they had this lake, which very nice lake. You know what they called it? They called it Angel. They called it the Angel Sea, the Angelic Sea, the Angelica Sea, Angelic Lake, And then they changed the name to the Angelica Sea because they had their first queen, in which name was Angelica the 16th. Yep. So yeah, these guys are actually doing pretty well for themselves, as I said before. Very well, very well for themselves. They set out explorers, and they found another lake. So the Angelica Sea and the Winged Lake. I'm just calling it Winged Lake. So yeah, they called it Winged Lake, and they were pretty chill about it. Pretty chill. Yeah, they're pretty chill. Pretty chill nation. Nothing really wrong was happening. So there's basically 3 nations now already. The reason for this is because, well, it's a new continent, new lands, okay? But something would happen. A huge earthquake affected this area and caused kind of started, like, the reason for like this causing like to form a little bit of hills was because these guys were literally on their own tectonic plate. Yeah, they were tectonic plates. They're kind of on their own tectonic plate, and this border is literally the tectonic plates. The tectonic plate meaning above the other border. So yeah, this border right here is this is the tectonic plate, And then the other TikTok, is it just me or does this look like a mouse? Is that just me? I didn't even notice that. But yeah, very big tectonic plate. Yeah, they are like crushing against each other, forming hills, just hills. But if things just couldn't get any worse, a blizzard right over here called the Bazai Blizzard, B-A-Z-I, the Bazai Blizzard, was starting to form, and it was already pretty bad. It had frozen over a little bit of the Atlantic Ocean. Now, obviously, these guys did not know what was coming. Obviously, because they were just expanding. These guys just expanded even more. And they were, well, now at least this country, the now called Fourth Tajiko Dynasty, was around like 180 years old, which meant they were a pretty old country. The oldest nation on the continent. These guys were only 100 years old. These guys are 180 years old country. You wanna know how old these guys are? They're around like 5 years old in country standards. So yeah, they're pretty young. They're a pretty young nation right now. These guys kind of want to stay like this to kind of chill. Well, these guys want to expand and expand even more. They keep expanding and expanding and expanding and expanding and expanding and expanding. Yeah, they just keep expanding. They kind of call this the Age of Peace. Reason for this is because, well, no one wanted to go to war. No one. But a new country formed. And it was right here. It's called Gravi. Formed by a man named Gravika. It's a country only around 4 states. And the thing was, when these guys formed, the explorers themselves were just headed back and were about to start exploring this northern region until they hit something. A new country. Who then changed the name to just grainy, what was it? I don't remember. I forgot it. Gravino. It's Gravino. Don't worry about it, guys. I remember it's Gravino. So yeah, they were called the first Gravino Republic. And these guys, Tanjiko, did not like these guys. They also did not like the Bali, but they did not want to go to war with the Bali because the Bali was the strongest nation. They definitely did not like the Gravino. Yeah, they keep changing the Gravino. Yeah. These guys have 1-year terms, and they keep changing their name based off their leaders. But it finally stuck. Okay. The Republic of the Gray People. We're just gonna call it the Gray Republic. So yeah, they actually had Gray in their name. The Gray Republic. So creative, the Gray Republic. So creative. The Gray Republic was formed about like 3 years ago in this timeline. So yeah, when they were just discovered by Tenjiga. The Great Republic were very nice. They were handing out food, wine to these guys, to the soldiers of Tenjico. Tenjico did not like this. Yeah, Tenjiku did not like the Great Republic. Great Republic was already having diplomats sent over to the Bari. Like, yo, bro, you met with this cool new nation called the Tenjiku. How are they? Are they real? Are they good? Are they okay? Are they a cool nation? Also, these guys came from Africa. They just got their independence. They didn't fight for it. They just sent them over. And Bari was like, no, they're not a good nation. When I gained my independence, we were just a bunch of slaves fighting to have a country. Yeah, very interesting history. And the Great Republic was like, what? What? That's crazy, man. That's crazy. And a man, in the Great Republic, called Guacchino wrote a book, which is how future people, still in the morning in like 2018, found it and knew and figured out that the early history of Tannian, the actual early history of Tannian, because of the Grey Republic. Clap it up, guys, clap it up. The Grey Republic is such a good nation. But then, this Grey Republic is starting to, not really like Tenjiku. You may be wondering, oh yeah, I can see why. Right? You're not wondering, why do they not like Tenjiku? What? They don't like Tenjiku because Tenjiku owns slaves. They don't have like a sex slave industry, but they still own slaves. And they gave the slaves one continent, which is only enough to buy a small slice of bread, if you remember. So yeah, the Great Republic was actually doing fine. They were pretty chill. They were chill with Bali, not so chill with Tenjiku, but they were fine with them. The Great Republic would cause a a lot of things to happen in the future when they get over here. But these are actually pretty big. They kind of stay in itself for a little while. Yeah, the Great Republic is chilling. Just chilling. They actually get their own. They get they get their own actual puppet state. The reason for this puppet state is because these guys actually just wanted to be a puppet state. Yeah. So they got actually two puppet states. Very, very interesting, guys. Very interesting. Two puppet states. Yes. Now, I guess that's kind of it for the first video. Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed the first video of Tannian history. Let me know your favorite country in the comments. I think that would be very cool. And also, if you guys want to make vlogs with them, that would be extremely cool. I would like that very much. You can name these guys. I'm kind of just calling them the Green Country guys. But yeah, we have 4 nations so far. And this was the first, I think, 300 years. Yes, which is a pretty good chunk of this continent, this fictional continent's history. I think that's nice. And maybe wondering, what is this monstrosity of a river? It's called the Angel River. We'll figure out how that got its name, and maybe because the Green Country, but we'll figure it out. So yeah, let me know any suggestions down below in the comments. Remember, constructive criticism immediately after you watch this. Go back to the important announcement video, or just leave it here. Yeah. Well, okay, never mind. Don't go back to the important announcement video. Just leave your constructive criticism down below in the comments, and any suggestions, for anything. Okay? Anything. Let me know what I should do more. And just that. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video and the first episode of this long series. It's gonna be very long, I promise you. Each episode is gonna be like 40 minutes. Sometimes if it's like kind of a special video, maybe like 50 to an hour. 50 minutes to an hour. Very long. It's very long. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.